Before the Teisho, I would like to speak about the scroll behind me. It consists of 4 Chinese ideograms and plus smaller 2 ideograms. The small one is said Genpo, meaning Genpo Roshi, written by him. It's not particularly beautiful, so to speak, but it is so tasteful. Many days I hung this at home, but never get tired. So meaning of this 4 Chinese ideogram. The first one is crane, and second one is get out. The third one is silver, and the last one is cage. So if I make it English sentence, it could be something like a crane got out from the silver cage. If that is all, you may think, that's all? But the implication is far more important. The crane implies each one of you. And got out from silver cage, or like a prison is another way to say, but to say prison is not as beautiful as silver cage, but the meaning is the same. Now, each one of you think you are free. You are not in a prison. You are not, certainly not. But how about the silver cage? You may think, each one of you think that you are free from silver cage, whatever that may be. But if you think that thinking you are free is a deception, you may be either surprised or disagree with me. The meaning of this phrase, the calligraphy, which is behind me, is Genpo Roshi is saying, each one of you are like crane, and from the beginning there is no silver cage. From the beginning you are free, and you are already and always wonderful being. Yet some of you may disagree or don't want to be as free as it's too good. Sounds too good, you may say. My life is not as beautiful as that. I'm not as free as I would like to be. And here is a problem of the modern society, particularly what we are living in. Each one of you think, well, dream of freedom, and yet the reality is not. And this is a common feeling, I assume. The Zen Buddhism teaches us it's not right. You are not a prisoner spiritually, and you are already from the beginning got out from the silver cage. So you are a wonderful free individual. And this is how Zen Buddhism tried to teach us. Maybe you did not understand the Hakuin Zenji's Song of Zazen, which we chanted. It said, Shujo Honrai Hoto Kenari, which means sentient beings, that is you, are primarily Buddha. And I understand this country is a Christian country, and Christianity is a wonderful teaching. I really love and particularly New Testament. But one thing which, if I'm not mistaken, it teaches us that we have the original sin, which might imply that all of us are still in a cage, whether that is silver or gold. Golden cage, silver cage. And this is where the cultural difference or religious difference comes. And one of the reasons, I assume, why you are interested to do Zazen, despite the pain and the sleepiness and etc., is that you are praying and you are free from the beginning, and your friends are sane. And to realize that it takes some effort, some endurance. Your leg may be excruciatingly painful, but somehow you feel good. And if you repeat this every single day, no matter how short, say 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, gradually you feel that you are the free crane Even though you may have a debts, you may feel that you are freed, plain. All the Teishos, whether that is Gateless Gate or Blue Cliff Record or Rinzai Record and some other Zen texts, are saying this plane has crane got out from the Silver Cage. And furthermore, crane has never been in the Silver Cage, but you think, some of the crane thinks that he or she is in the cage forever. So, the Zen is not mere meditation. It's not mere contemplation. It's not mere regulating your breath, but rather to realize this wonderful truth. So we'll go into today's case. Mumonkan, the Gateless Gate. This is the name of the book. Case 24. FUKETSU, speech and silence. A monk asked FUKETSU, both speech and silence are faulty in being li or be. How can we escape these faults? FUKETSU said, this part I will allow me to say in original. 渡航しないに思う高難三月のうち車庫なくところ百花間橋 When that is translated into English, it becomes I always remember the spring in Konan where the partridges sing. How fragrant the countless flowers. The Master FUKETSU the lineage of Rinzai lineage comes after Rinzai Gigen Zenji, Koke Sonsho Zenji, Rinzai Gigen Zenji, Koke Sonsho Funyo Zensho Zenji, Funyo Zensho Zenji, FUKETSU Ensho Zenji. So 1 to 3rd generation after Rinzai. And it is FUKETSU's time when Rinzai teaching really spread all over China. And it's a very strange name, FUKETSU. Fu means wind, and Ketsu means whole. And according to the explanation, because of strong, strong wind, day after day after day in the Rocky Mountain area, the wind made the hole for someone to live, like a tunnel. So this FUKETSU Ensho Zenji is the one who did his self practice, solo session in that hole, wind, which was made by the wind. And therefore, as a nickname, he was called FUKETSU Osho, FUKETSU Zenji. The real name is Ensho. He was, as always, but he was particularly brilliant. And on those days, Confucianism was well spread, and master of Confucianism, he was able to get higher rank in government. So he studied Confucianism and took a test that he failed. And normally, when someone failed one test, he tried again for next year. But in his case, he thought, okay, I have nothing to do with Confucianism. And in the meantime, he learned Buddhism and compared Buddhism and Confucianism. And he thought Buddhism is far deeper than Confucianism. So thus he became a Buddhist monk. That is before FUKETSU. In other words, before he did a retreat in wind hole. Now, this is the FUKETSU. Okay? A monk asked, someone asked FUKETSU Ensho Zenji. The question is very simple and yet deep. Both speech and silence are faulty in being Ri or Bi. Ri means the equality without any discrimination and differentiation. So in other words, here in New York, there are so many people. Some of them are American, like yourself. Some of them are Asian, like myself. And some of them are Hispanic. Some of them are WASP. Some of them are black person from Africa, and etc., etc., etc. So, Ri means total equality, no discrimination, no differentiation. This is the meaning of Ri. And B means even though that is true, flower is flower, and flower is flowering. Willow is willow, and willow is willowing. Snow is snow. Rain is rain. You can say hundreds of thousands of different things. Each has its own characteristics, right? We are all equal, yes. And we are all different, yes. We are all different. And yet we are all same. And in intellectual level, this sameness and differentiation does not come together. And yet we know that we are all different and we are all equal. So, the monk asked, both speech and silence are faulty in being li or bi. This morning I scolded twice. The first one, everybody was gathering there and talk. It's called speech. And you love to talk. So I said, speak less, work more. This saying, I got a hint from my doctor. And he said, eat less, walk more. And this is good advice. Eat less, walk more. And same thing can be said. Speak less, walk, get finished. When everything is finished and there's still time, 15 minutes or extra time, you are free to talk, right? But everything is unfinished, but everybody is engaged, and you don't remember anything what you talked. Anyway, this is the culture. In this culture, whether it's good or bad, this is the characteristics of the culture. And second time I scored. Jikijitsu was talking. So I said, if you talk long, we have less time to sit. And this is true. We are here to zazen, not to listen some if you need to speak, make it to condense what is necessary to say. No adjective, no adverb. No adjective, no adverb. Only noun is good enough. Single espresso. This is a noun. And everybody understand. May I please have a single espresso, please? This may be polite, but we don't need it. Single espresso. So, by saying so, directly, simply, clearly, and this is what we have to learn. And therefore, the best teisho is just sit down and say nothing and leave. So I once said years ago, knowing the nature of Zen Buddhism and the nature of Teisho, as soon as Teisho text is read, I put my palms together and stand up and leave. But that's the real Teisho should be like that. But Teisho has a kind of entertainment aspect. This is Dharma entertainment. But Dharma part is more important. Entertainment part is less important. Unless you and I can communicate by laughing, or no matter how lofty, profound philosophy or whatever I speak, if there is no communication, so what? So both speech and silence are faulty. They can't speak, they can't be silent. Now, how do you escape? How can we escape these faults? This is a simple and yet very difficult question. For this, FUKETSU quoted the famous poem, which I love. Allow me to say once more. 床をしないに思う高難三月のうち車庫なくところ百貨看橋 And this translation is more or less meaning. Is this a speech? Or is this silence? Or is this a quotation? Is he speaking? Is he in silence? And we are living in a world of black and white. Speech or silence is black or white. But I tell you about another entertainment. So years ago, I told with some student, you are living in black or white world. Your culture is only black and white. He said, how about in Japanese? Well, we have an in-between. It's called gray. And he said, gray too is a specific characteristic. Therefore, it belongs to gray category, same as black category, white category. Got it? In one sense, he's right. But the Oriental people somehow knows somewhere in between, neither black nor white, some gray area. And to say gray area is better than ambiguous. But this ambiguity sometimes, in fact, quite often helps. If you say yes or no, ambiguous. Anyway, this FUKETSU. 渡航しないにえよもう高難三月のうち車庫なくところ百花間橋 He never said yes, no, speech, silence. He just quoted the poem which he loved. And then Mumon's comment. FUKETSU Zen spirit. Here appears Zen spirit. Dynamism. Clear. Even elegant. Was like lightning and open a clear passage. However, he was entangled in the monks' words and could not cut them off. If you can really grasp the problem, you can readily find the way out. Now, here's the problem. Okay? Now, putting language samadhi aside, say it in your own words. Right? Putting language samadhi aside, say it in your own words. Right? Everybody prepare. Okay, you come later.
Hi.
Okay, good. Hi. Wonderful. Next.
Later.
Hi.
Now.
Now. Or I go ahead.
Goodbye.
Now.
Now.
So go ahead now.
I just did.
All right.
No more.
Okay. I understand you are being. Next.
It's an ugly day in paradise.
Too long. Make it short.
Ugly day.
Even shorter.
Ugly.
Ugly. Make it more beautiful.
Paradise.
All right. One. Very good.
I agree.
I agree with
Paradise.
good. I
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Very good.
Bliss. Bliss. B-L-I-S-S. Rapture.
Good.
Great.
Great?
Great.
Great? What? Great.
Great. Not like grated cheese, but just being great.
G-R-A.
It's great.
T.
G.
No. Great.
Great.
Oh, not great.
No.
Great.
Great.
Okay. So like now putting language samadhi aside, say it in your own words. Great. Good afternoon. Paradise. Hey. Now. Hey.
Green tea.
Huh?
Green tea.
What?
Green tea.
Green tea. All right.
No, that's excellent.
Next.
Oh, great. We can't.
Huh?
We can't.
We cannot.
We cannot.
Now, what in what sense?
We cannot escape it.
Aha. So, in that level, you say we cannot. But can you say even not in that level, deeper level, like crane? Your crane is still in a silver cage, right?
Yes.
And you're saying that I cannot get out. So this is exactly what you are saying, right?
Well, I thought the good afternoon was excellent
Excellent.
because
Then-
it did cut through it.
Yeah. Then what would you say?
Excellent.
Excellent is excellent. Yeah, good afternoon. Excellent. It's far better than we cannot, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So what?
So what? So what? Now, Jigiji-san,
How about this way? The bars are starting to bend, but I still can't get out.
could you please repeat?
The bars are starting to bend, but I still can't get out.
Once ago?
The bars of the cage.
Oh, good.
Bars.
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 The bar,
Yeah.
cage, the bar. Prison bars.
Bar.
Bar.
You are lawyer.
Yeah.
Member of the bar. so repeat with that.
Still unbendable. The bars are still unbendable.
So you are still inside.
Still inside. Hi.
Would you like to be there for good?
No. I think I need more space. Yeah, not enough space.
Time or space?
I can't answer that. Yeah. Outside's probably better.
Now, you see, so interesting to see everybody's how you feel and think. So we are all different, and yet we are all same. Is this contradicting? Yes or no?
Paradise.
No. Yes?
Paradise.
Paradise?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Contradicting?
Yeah. That's okay.
Three and B.
It is the interesting part of to be in the United States is that each one of you knows how to express your opinion and feeling. And in Japan, the situation is completely different. Suppose this is just someone comes from Japan and I would like to take him out for dinner. So suppose I ask him, what would you like to eat? And he would say, omakase shimasu, which means you decide, I'm a guest. So whatever you choose, will be happy for me. And if the question is different, if I'm in Japan and receiving you from United States and ask, what would you like to eat? Some of you say, Martin will say, sushi. Some of you say, I would like to taste Japanese style French. This is just like Echo would say. And Mungan would say, well, I would like to taste Japanese style of Italian. And so you are, in your case, you have your own opinion, wish, and express without hesitation. And this is what American culture is, right? And this is what you are taught, and you are trained, and you have been doing. And it's beyond good or bad, this is it. But when you congregate, talking, talk less, work more. And this is the universal truth, especially in Zen gathering, okay? What am I talking about? Okay, say it in your own words. And you said, bar.
Unfoldable, yes, bars, you know, of a cage, bars.
I wonder, I often think, drinking places called bar,
Yes.
B-A-R, and Lawyers Association is also called a bar. What is the connection between that bar and this bar?
Drink.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Prison. She's so.
What?
This is obsession with prison.
Anyway, let me finish this. So Mumon's verse, he does not use a refined phrase. He just said, こうしないに思う高難三月のうち、車庫なくところ百花かんばし。Before speaking, he has already handed it over. If you can chatter on and on and on and on and on, okay? If you chatter on and on and on and on and on, you will find you have lost your way. No comment is necessary. Okay, as you know, I've been in the United States for a little over 50 years, and I got to know not much, but a little bit of American culture. And when I went back to Japan, I was shocked again how much difference between these two cultures. And when I came back, again I was shocked. When I go to Europe, European culture is another one. And I don't know the Middle East. All I know is Turkey, Istanbul. I have never been to Syria. Huh?
So, it's
And so far, it's not a safe place to go. Anyway, this small planet, and there was a saying in Japan, the cold and warm will be clearly distinguished between as when equinox day comes. Spring equinox is pretty soon, so it's supposed to be this coldness is over and warmth starts. But because of global warming, the old proverb is no longer accurate. Proverb is broken by this global warming. And not only the spring equinox or autumn equinox, coldness or hotness, everything is gradually shifting. And yet we are living in a small planet, very small. Only 13 hours flight, I can across the Pacific and go to a completely different paradise. So anyway, what I was going to say is, for you to take time to gather here, to chant, which you have no idea what you're chanting, sit, even though I say count your breath and regulate your breath, and most of the time you are not doing. Yet you are, at least you are still, not moving. That's great. And to hear this kind of Dharma entertainment under the name of Teisho, and find out everyone is so different, and yet everyone is the same Buddha nature. So to have this kind of Dharma gathering and to attend, to be a part of it, is quite a unique experience for you. And I would really like you to keep your own American culture, and yet you should know there is another culture besides American culture. And this is for you to know that is quite important and educational. And to think is one thing, to feel is another thing, and to act from your belly, lower abdomen, is still another thing. So one body has at least 3 headquarters: headquarter, chest quarter, hara quarter. And you are educated only headquarters, and we are learning now chest quarter, heart quarter, and most importantly, lower abdomen quarter. And this is where guts comes. This is where real accurate decision can be made. So I don't know when next month's Dharma Zazenkai, and you'll be informed from Zensho. Make your all effort, and we are really pioneers to bring this Zazen into this great land. And if we discontinue this, the future of America will be quite different. And I'm the only survivor of Rinzai Zen monk after Sasaki Roshi's departure. And nobody want to come to this country. I asked a few people in Japan, would you like to come? Would you like to come? For 1 week, yes, but in one sense, to come to a foreign country, to commit to give his life to foreign country is not easy to thing to say, oh, I would go. In my case, somehow karmic wind blew me here. And so I have no regret. But anyway, what I wanted to say is we cannot expect any Japanese monk to come to this country to spend decades or even more. If so, not if, since that is the case, you are the one who carry this tradition to the next generation, and keep that in your mind. And let's hope we can meet again in April. Hey.